Copying a generic subsistence purchase order and making it your own. This video has been revised, so if you're re-watching, you may notice some changes. Before watching this video, please watch the Creating a Basic Purchase Order video and the Subsistence Purchase Order video so that this one makes sense. This video will show you step by step how to locate a generic subsistence purchase order made by Unit Finance, how to copy it for your own use, and what you need to change in it to make it yours. You can also apply this process to copying previous purchase orders you yourself or someone else has made. Step 1. To copy a purchase order for your own use, all you need is the purchase order ID. You can also search by buyer or vendor. But in this example, I will be showing you how to pull up a purchase order Unit Finance has created especially for you to copy. Whatever purchase order you copy, you must check that all the data in the new copied version is correct for your particular purchase. If you are copying this generic Safeway purchase order that I'm going to show you in this example, you'll need to modify it to make you the buyer, have the ship to location as your station, change the coding if you want something other than all of the purchase going to 02090, delete unnecessary line items, and put in the correct prices for your items. I'll show you all these steps in Fiscal. Once you've made those changes, you can save the purchase order and send it for approval. Because the generic purchase order needs to be used for copying over and over, do not go into the original generic purchase order and modify that one for yourself and send it in. If you follow the process in this video, that will be impossible, so you won't have to worry about it. But since the original version of this video, just such a thing happened. My original generic purchase order 2915 is no longer available because someone modified it. I'll show you this process using the new generic purchase order I created, but if at any time you try to use it and see it's been modified by someone, all I can do is extend my condolences. Someone ruined it for you. I might make a new one if that happens, and you can find it in the Fiscal Common Supplier Purchase Orders link in the CZU Finance portal. That's here on this page. It's this button down here in the middle. Click on it, and you'll see the purchase orders available for you to copy. So using this new one I made, let's get started. You'll log into Fiscal and navigate, as you would to create any new purchase order, to the Add Update Purchase Orders page. Don't touch anything on the Add New Value tab, just click Add. You'll get a brand new blank purchase order, but it won't be blank for long. Just as in the video where I showed you how to copy a purchase order, use this drop-down, Copy From, and select Purchase Order. You're taken to this little pop-up page where you will select the purchase order you want to copy from. You'll enter the purchase order ID here, or you can search by the supplier, the buyer, or any other data you have. In this case, I have the purchase order ID. Click Search, and when it appears, check it, and click OK. Fiscal will think for a minute. And then the data will fill in. It's possible you'll get a pop-up, a warning box that says Fiscal is going to overwrite some data. Well, that's true. The purchase order you're copying will overwrite anything you already have in the new blank purchase order, which is what you're trying to do. So if you want to copy it all, you'll click Yes in that little warning pop-up box. Before you finish here, you'll be checking every field to make sure they are correct, so even if you do allow something to get overwritten that shouldn't be, you can fix it. I've copied the purchase order. You can see at the top that even though the purchase order I copied from was 4841, this one says Purchase Order ID Next. I'm not changing the original purchase order. I am working here in my own copy of it, and it won't have an ID until I click Save. Now to make it mine, or rather, in this case, I'll pretend I'm someone else ordering subsistence for a station. First thing you'll want to change is the buyer. Of course, if you're not buying from Safeway, you can also change the supplier. Instead of me, I'll pick someone else. Pretending I'm Nathan Armstrong and that I'm going to buy this. It's going to give me this warning that it's going to change some stuff, but if Nathan Armstrong wants to buy the stuff, you've got to click OK. Yes, it's going to keep warning me it's changing things. Just keep clicking OK if you want to go through with this copying process. Non-IT goods will stay the same. Fair and reasonable, stay the same. DGS billing code, this is the code for CZU. If you are not CZU and you want to copy this purchase order, that's fine, but you'll need to change the billing code to be the code for your unit. PO reference field is currently blank. You can put whatever you want in here. CZU has no policy at this time what to do with the PO reference field. Other units may have a policy and require you to put certain data or information into this PO reference field. You'll check all these links. You'll go to header details, make sure the billing address is correct. 162 is CZU headquarters, so that's correct if you're at CZU. PO defaults is next. You'll want it to say override if you want to use this box at all. Ship to has changed, defaulting back to Sacramento HQ. This food is not going to Sacramento HQ, most likely. So you'll want to come and choose your station. For CZU, I changed description to contains, put in CZU, click look up, and I'll get a list of all CZU locations, including all of our stations. If I'm going to say this is food for Fall Creek Station, I select Fall Creek. Moving down the page, here in the chart fields, the default is set up to go 100% to 02090, CZU's reporting structure. If that's what you want, you're all set. Click OK. If that's not what you want, you'll need to change the reporting structure to your unit or change the coding to be the coding that you want for this purchase. If you want some help with how to code or split code subsistence, please watch the subsistence purchase order video. In this case, I do want 100% of the price to go to 02090, and this is CZU, so I click OK. I'll probably get another warning saying, yeah, did you want to change all this stuff? Yes, I do. I can click on this select all to get all the boxes checked and click OK. Again, it's saying, hey, you changed the ship to. Yes, that's what I wanted, so I click OK. Next, edit view comments and attachments. The original purchase order you copied from already has a justification. You should probably add your station name here. Make sure this stays checked. This is one of two. Use these arrows to go to the second one. And general provisions are already attached for you. You can click OK and move on. If you want to buy this with your CAL card, you'll need to fill out the Use Procurement Card link. You'll select your card number from the drop-down. Click OK. This guy will pop the information to the top. Click OK again. Moving down the page to Car Reportable. Tell it yes. It asks you a question. Tell it no. Now you've reached the itemization section. I have set this up to have all 20 of the different food categories we're supposed to use when we're making our subsistence purchase. I have set them up with a price of $1 each. You should have already made your purchase. You should have gone through and subtotaled the categories. You'll not be itemizing your food individually by item. you'll be making categories of food. If you need more description or help on this, watch the subsistence purchase order video. So you'll use the little negative symbol in this box to delete any of these that you're not using. So if I didn't buy any dried fruit, I click the little negative symbol. It says, you want to get rid of this? I say, yes, I do. And it's gone. So use little negative symbols to delete anything that you haven't bought. And then, of course, using the receipt and the subtotals that you made for each category, enter the correct amount. If you just bought some peanut butter and it was $4.50, put in $4.50 for nuts and seeds. If you bought a whole bunch of different steaks and chicken thighs and other kinds of meat, and you spent $201.35 on all of that meat, change that dollar amount there. If the ship to address has been changed, which it most likely has been changed, you'll have to go into each line item to this little acorn-shaped icon for the tax. Fiscal wants to tax you. You have to go in and tell it no. Tell it item is exempt. Click the Calculate SUT button just to make sure that Fiscal got the message, and click OK. If you don't do that, then on the main page, when you click Calculate, you'll see some tax appear. There's $18.64 there, which is probably coming from this meat and poultry item that I put here, because I haven't fixed the taxes on it yet. So you'll just go through deleting any line item you didn't buy, putting in dollar amounts for the line items you did buy, and taking off the tax. If you do want any coding other than everything to 02090, you'll have to go in to the chart fields and change that to be split coded or change it to a different unit, whatever it is you plan to do. There's more information on split coding a subsistence purchase in the subsistence purchase order video. When you're all done, you can click save. You can click save at any point, just to make sure you keep your work. Because if you walk away, you get a call, Fiscal may time out, and then you'll lose all of your progress. Then once you've saved it, you'll click the little green checkbox to submit it for approval. And that's it.